Y'all can't hear me, can you? Now you can hear me. Um, so what I said was Mickey Leon here, District of Curves. We are back with another episode of Journey to the Crown. Only this time we have finished our journey to the crown. So I'm going to bring on our director, Mrs. Gabriella Symone Parker. And if I had I do have the applause. I just don't have them queued up, so y'all can clap with me. All right.
You didn't cue up the applause.
I
That's.
didn't queue up the
I
applause
feel like I
because
need to go out and come back in so you can cue up the applause.
it's 9:20, so you know.
Oh, okay.
All right, there's Geronda. She said, "Now we can hear." All right.
Hi, Geronda. Yeah, he was being crazy, and I was trying to figure out how to chat him and be like, they cannot hear you.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Mrs. Parker, to your live stream because clearly that's you in the corner over there. So,
Okay.
welcome to your live stream, director Gabriella Simone Parker.
Oh my gosh.
I heard you had a big weekend this weekend. Like,
Did I?
let's
Did
talk about
we?
that.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. First of all, I need to say we must be gluttons for punishment because for those of y'all who don't know, after every major production, either District of Curves or Miss Full Figured, we always do one of these. We always do one of these recaps, and we be so tired. We there's my we are always so tired, and we're like, we're not going to do this again. And then every time we go through production, we're like, we have to go live and do a recap and thank everybody. And I got up and I was like, man, I got to put makeup on. I got to get dressed, and I'm so tired, but I'm so excited to be here with you guys after we have, as Mickey said, had a bit of a weekend. And the reason that we do this is because when we do production, we don't do it alone, and there's just too many people to thank and too many moments to go through to just do a thank you post or a series of posts. And so we get on here and yap with y'all for an hour. And if you're asleep by now, I hope you catch it. Hi, Queen. We will talk about you and all of our amazing delegates in a few minutes. Everybody's, oh my God. Hi, guys. Hi, Geronda. Lex, Queen Alexis, how are you? We um we have had a weekend like we yeah, right. Rumor has it that we had a bit of a weekend. We're getting ready to go through it day by day from Friday afternoon to Monday morning. We had a time in Baltimore at Martin's West, the Miss Full Figured USA National Capital Region inaugural pageant this past weekend. It feels like we have been talking about this forever and it's finally here. Um, I can't even fully, I only fully processed or started to process what we just did today. So we're going to go through it and we're going to process together. Oh my gosh. Hi, guys. Oh, don't make me. I don't have any more tears left to cry, and clearly, I don't have any any voice left either. If you hear me, I was a lot worse, but this is from cheering for all of my girls. Daya Tanksley, the assistant director for Miss Full Figure USA Pennsylvania, caught me in the hotel yesterday, and she said, "I loved the way that you were screaming for all of your girls every time they came on stage and they saw you." Cheering for them, and it made them go harder. And I said, that's what I was supposed to do. Like that, those are my girls. And I was so proud. And I lost my voice because of that. So thank y'all.
yeah, man. Let me tell y'all, like, it's just so y'all know I produce DOC. Obviously, I don't do that alone either, right? I have a team that does it, and it's something. But producing a pageant is so much different. Like, production is production. Like, at the core, it's production, but it's different. Like, when you get into the pageant aspect of it. Like, somebody asked me, like, what is the main difference between doing the pageant and doing the show. And so I said, it's the process. We take the ladies and the men through a process with DOC. Um, but and it's a long process. We have rehearsals and we have a million emails and all those things like that. But with the pageant, we have this core group of women, and we literally go on this journey with them, like from the beginning. It's so much personal time, one-on-one phone calls, training sessions, different things that you have to do. So you get to know these women in a way that you don't get to know them during like a fashion show. Like last year's DLC, we had 50 models, right? And so if I see everybody, I can name names. Some of the people that I had never worked with before, though, it may be hard for me to just immediately see them right away and know their faces. No shade, no disrespect, but that's just how it is. But like with the pageant, we're talking to these girls almost every day.
Yep.
If not all of us, one of us almost every day, and every day a different person needs something else. Not needs like in a bad way, but like one person might be talking to me about their talent while the next person is talking to Gabby about their outfit, while the next person is talking to Ebony about their walking, and the next person is talking to Sharmika, like just trying to have like some peace, or you know that part of it, so forth and so on. So it makes a difference, and to see it all come together on started on Friday really, but to see it all come together like on Saturday, that was something.
Yeah.
It was, for me, it was the same feeling that I had the first time when DOC first started and the music dropped. It was Diamonds, and Shawnee walked out in the outfit from Ashley Stewart that I styled for her. And like, it was some dust flying around in the room. Like I said, so like my eyes had started sweating, you know what
Uh-huh.
I mean? And so that is what happened. And so when that opening number happened, the same thing happened. Like I just had this like overwhelming sense of pride and accomplishment.
Yeah.
And when Tia walked down the runway,
Hmm.
like it was, I don't even know how to describe it, but like that's when the dust really hit. You know what I mean? As she walked down the runway and came all the way down and went all the way back and then all the way to the end, like it's just, I can't even describe it. So it was amazing.
He's talking about our opening number that the ladies put together in 2 weeks, led by our baby girl, Cayenne Smith, who's also our Miss Full Figured USA NCR Rising Star 2025. And I had a vision, and it was the night before my birthday, and I was watching Homecoming, a film by Beyonce, and I saw her in our colors in yellow, and they had these hoodies with the crest on, and I said I want that. I yeah, yeah, you see it.
Yeah.
I said I want that. And to that point I hadn't thrown too many wrenches in the girls' plans, because I don't like when that's done to me. When I'm preparing for one thing, I don't like when you start throwing a whole bunch of extra stuff my way, because I'm like, I have to prepare for what I plan to prepare for. But I came to them and I was like, look, I don't ask y'all for nothing. I don't throw a bunch of last minute stuff on you. I want this. We need this. We need something to properly introduce the audience to the national capital region. And they actually were overwhelmingly excited to do it. And they put it in they put themselves in a separate group chat. They had rehearsals. They got the outfit together. We spent way too much time and energy trying to source these hoodies and get them the right color. And
Shout out to Ebony for dyeing the
yes,
hoodies I dyed one. I dyed Gabby's, but shout out to Ebony for dyeing those hoodies yellow because they were dyed yellow.
Mhm.
Shout out to Shantae for coming up with the design
Yep.
for the hoodie.
Yep.
Shantae, one of our delegates, she came up with the design for the hoodie,
Yep.
you know. And to everybody else who made it happen for these hoodies, because that when I tell you that these hoodies literally happened at the last minute, at the 11th hour,
Yeah.
like I ain't even gonna tell you. Mark and Travia were like just yeah, because and then shout out to Robin for
Yeah.
putting all that stuff in her car and driving it up. And we set up in my hotel room and turned that into like the office for the pageant
Yes, we did.
and pressed like 14 hoodies in an hour and some change. Like, y'all have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And what he's talking about is that we did it the day before they needed to wear them.
Yes. Like two and a half hours before the party on Saturday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we truly um are grateful for the way that it came together. It was one, I mean, I don't I have visions, but I don't consider myself like a creative person so much, but it was the first time that I felt like I saw something in my head and I didn't know how to execute it, and so I called the people that were smarter than me and more creative than me, and I was like, this is what I want. I don't really care how we need to get it done. We just need to get it done. And to see it go from a concept to execution and then to see it on the stage, um yeah, that meant a lot to me, for
Yeah.
sure.
It was something to see, y'all. It
And,
really was.
and for those of you who weren't there or missed the performance, we will post it because we have it in full and you need to see it. It was the perfect introduction for the brand for the National Capital Region.
Yeah, for sure.
But we've gone all the way to Sunday and we got to go back to Friday.
We
Like,
do. We have to go back.
we will skip around and miss so much. But Friday, the delegates checked in and we had a little pajama party because what I didn't realize until the last minute was that that was the last time that we were going to gather as a group like that, because we all hope that everyone loves each other and sticks around and all that good stuff, but competition is hard and it's emotional, and at the end of it, you don't know where, people disperse, they go their separate ways, they move on in their lives and their journeys, and I wanted us to have a final moment together, in the space that we built, and it was beautiful. Our CEO came and joined us. We had our team there. Shout out to Sharmika for cooking us some amazing food, just to kind of celebrate. And the delegates, they came in, they had their pajamas on. We took a picture in our shirts with the team. Mickey finally got a picture with us. I think that's the only picture
It
that
is.
we have with you in it throughout the whole season. So super excited for that. But it was just a really good time and something that I want to build on in future years. So thank you guys for humoring me. And yes, part two after pajama party, we will have snacks. We will recap the pageant. Yes, we will absolutely have a part two pajama party. Yes, we will.
And now y'all can have tequila, but not with your sash on.
Right.
And yeah, Sharmika, shout out to Sharmika for cooking. Sharmika is the official cook now. So, I just want to make sure she knows that if she's watching, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't go nowhere.
She is the NCR executive chef.
Yeah, exactly.
Just absolutely. Like, Oh, Siki, I'm sorry. We will absolutely make sure that you have some vegan snacks and food.
Yes, yes, for sure.
I was very intentional about that, you know, at the pageant, at the purple and white party. I went to the tasting a few weeks prior and I was like, we have to have some vegetables. Like we have to have some vegan food, you know, just to make sure that we're covering all our bases. But yes, we will make sure that we don't leave you out. The chicken was fire. Yes, the chicken was everything Sharmika makes is amazing. I'm so grateful to have her. You know, I will do a longer thank you to her and Ebony later on, but we just have to start thanking people. You know, that's when some of our national team had come in and we were greeting them properly and making sure they were settled. And actually, our CEO came in and joined the pajama party. So it was just a really good time. Friday night was good. It was good energy. We um we met some good folks in the hotel that saw
Hmm.
us and was like, what is this, what are you all a part of? And they were so inspired by our mission and how beautiful our girls were that they actually would like to partner with us in future years. So I absolutely will be calling them later on this week to see what we can do for year two. And because it's only up from here. But when you lead with love and, you know, shine your light, you attract people and you attract goodness. And I'm super grateful for just the way that we were able to kick off this very important weekend.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was amazing, man. I just can't say it enough. Like as she said, we got to start thanking people, but um, and there's so many people to thank.
There's so many people to thank.
There's so many. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Go ahead and start.
All right, so I am going to start from like a media standpoint, right? So because the photographers and the videographers are super important because it's how we can see the show once it's done, you know. So definitely to Olu for coming out and shooting. Olu is an old pro at the pageant game,
Yeah.
so you know he knew exactly what needed to be done to get the shots, you know, to do what he had to do, and he turned stuff around pretty quick. So
Hmm.
you know, definitely thanks to Olu for that, and to Philip Drew with uh, well, I mean, he's with Queen Size too, but they weren't necessarily there as Queen Size magazine. So you know, shout out to Phil because again, Phil is also an old pro at this, and Phil knows what to do. So you know, that was two people that I knew I did not have to worry about.
Yeah.
Um, the videographer, I know she came through. Shanice, Gabby, do you have her name? I don't have her name.
Yes, her name is Ari. Thank you so
Ari.
much, Ari, for coming through, and thank you for Shanice Styles. Thank you for sponsoring that for us. Shanice is a great friend in production. Shout out to the Timeless Hair and Fashion Show, the Rooted Hair and Fashion Show, our dream team that we build over there. District of Curves was a proud sponsor of the last show, and I was a host there. And you know, when she was having her production, she you know, was right at that 2 week mark where she was tearing her hair out. And I said, what do you need? And, you know, she told me what she needed and we came through for her. So when I was at the 2 week mark and I was tearing my hair out, she was like, what do you need? And I told her what I needed. And she immediately got it together. And it was a big help. Like there are so many things in production that, can go wrong, and the more people that you have that you don't have to worry about, that you don't have to give direction to, that you can tell them one time what you need and then they take it and run with it. Those are the people I'm going to work with every time. And speaking of which, because I just saw her name flash across the screen, shout out to Tawana Blassingame, the CEO and editor in chief of Queen Size Magazine, as well as the executive producer of the Full Figured Industry Awards, who came down to help me bring in this inaugural season and took care of my judges. Was an amazing judges liaison. Once I put that in her hands, I simply did not think about it anymore because I didn't have to. and I can't tell you enough what that means to me. Several judges have actually already reached out since Sunday to tell me how nice everything was, how organized and well run everything was. And even though I said it out there, I know that that is largely because of you and the way that you work. And I cannot thank you enough for taking that out of my hands and being the professional Virgo that you always are. I appreciate you so much, my girl.
Yeah, for sure. And for Tosh also for
Hmm.
being the judge's liaison assistant. Was that the title
Yes.
she had?
Yes.
Yeah, and anybody that's ever worked with Tosh knows, she don't play games.
Hmm.
So, she's gonna get the job done. And
It was two Virgos on that team, so I did not need to add anything to that. I was
yeah,
in very good hands.
yeah, so that was a good look.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
always good when you have people around and you don't have to be the one in charge.
Hmm.
You can let those people do their job and empower them to make those decisions. So that's always super helpful.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then leading into the judges, I will go ahead and thank them now. Shout out to Ladon Black, Myra Mejia, Tiffany Lady T. Watson, Brandon Phillips, and Jeannie Ferguson Goodlow. These were our amazing panel of judges. They were beautiful, they were talented, they were amazing. They came in. I know that they had a very hard job, but they executed very well. And I cannot thank you enough for answering the call. And some of you were with us the entire weekend, came down, planes, trains, automobiles, and spent the weekend with us. Some of you were just here Sunday, and we appreciate you too. But thank you so much for being a part of the inaugural. It was amazing, and I look forward to working with you all as we build up this NCR community.
Yeah, for sure. I've been a judge before, and for two Miss Full Figure pageants, and they definitely a judge. Your job is really important. In a lot of ways, it's probably the most important job of the pageant. And I know as a judge, you always want to make sure you get it right. And like that, it might look like all fun and games, because you get to watch everything. But I mean, you're deciding who is going to move on to the next round.
Yeah.
So definitely shout out to the judges for taking it seriously
Hmm.
and doing their best job. So thank you.
Absolutely. All right, where are we going next?
So I want to say I got to shout out Robin, right? So Robin on our production team.
Yeah.
Um, we, as always, threw Robin into the fire like we always do. Robin is she was front of house manager, but she is kind of like a catch all, for everything, and she does her best job to keep me and Gabby sane.
Yeah. Which
While
is not
driving.
easy.
No, it's not. While driving herself crazy.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Robin for that, the frustrations and everything like that. Again, if you've been in production, when you are the producers, a lot of times I always tell my team with DLC, I apologize to them early in advance, like before the show gets there, because I mean, whatever I happen to say in the middle of the production, I mean it with love. It might not sound loving when I say it, but I do mean it with love. And so, Robin knows that, and she understands that. She um lets it roll off, you know what I mean? And she just takes it like that, and she handles business. So
Yeah.
I appreciate her for that, you know. And I know we're not going in any particular order, but since I mentioned Robin, I have to go to her cousin. Um, my One of my best friends and partners for years, Monica, the Kirby Diva, who served as one of our hosts for this
Yes.
event. I mean, Monica's been hosting for as long as me and her have been together like that. So, she knows what to do. She came in and she was Monica with her Monica split on that 4 foot stage. You know, um, if you know Monica, you know what the Monica split is.
Yes.
So, what I
Yes.
don't know, I'll give it to you to talk about Monica.
Monica's incredible. Again, when I talk about like needing to put people in place that I didn't need to worry about, um there, when I thought so much, because I thought a lot about the energy that I needed in the room and the way that I needed things to flow, particularly because we had so much to pack into so little time. um there was no better choice than to have Monica kind of move that program along with her signature style, and not needing to really write out a script per se, like letting her just be her. And I always wanted my CEO Teresa Randolph to be able to get on the mic at my first pageant. I wanted that. I earned that. I always thought that she should be there, but she never wants to do the whole thing. She always wants to spread it around. So I was always going to pair someone else with her, and I said it has to be Monica. Monica is not only my friend in business, but my personal friend as well. She's going through a journey with grad school. She's almost done, thank goodness, and
December 14th.
December 14th. But she still found time to show up for me and this inaugural weekend, and I can't thank you enough for coming in and just being you and taking care of everything. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Shout out to Jeannie.
I took a picture with Jeannie and I was being very sincere. And I said, Jeannie, thank you so much, but not in the way that you say it. Like, genuinely, thank you so much. And if you know, you know, I'm not explaining anymore.
Right, exactly, exactly. Man,
But
so
back to the production staff, we talked about Robin, but I also have to give a shout out to another production assistant who didn't know that she was a production assistant until she got there. But my girl Shaughnessy Travis, Miss Full
yes,
Figured USA Alabama Plus 2022. She was going to be here for me regardless. As she watched me, I watched her journey as I was a reigning national queen, and I brought in the plus delegates who were going to nationals underneath me, and we created a bond. And she showed up for me in my first pageant, and she bought a flight from Alabama. She came to DC on Thursday and wasn't leaving until Monday. And she said, use me however you need me. And I wasn't sure if I would because, she bought a ticket. She was coming to sit and be pretty, but she said, use me however you need me. And I ended up really, really needing her to keep me sane. And we put her everywhere.
we did. And as a matter of fact, she deserves a shout out for these hoodies too, because she was able to run my camera for me during the interviews so that I could go back and finish pressing these hoodies. So, she saved over an hour of my time to be able to go and do this. So, shout out to her. And then I put her to work at the party with setting up those easels. She probably still has not forgiven me for that. But um, so all of the nice pictures that you guys saw with up on the stands, up on the easels, she helped me set those up. And they were a pain in the ass, but she did it. And I appreciate that.
I truly appreciate. She would wake up in the morning and be like, "What do you need?" And I'm like, "I don't know." But then she would be right there, and she would just sit quietly and wait for me to say something, and then go do it. And she would walk, and it wasn't a far walk, but she would walk back and forth from the hotel and the venue, just transporting stuff. And I was like, "Stop! Like somebody will drive you." She's like, "No, no, no, I'm fine," and never complained and never anything. And I for somebody to get on a plane for you, I appreciate all the support that I've gotten near and far, but for her to get on a plane, for me, it meant a lot. And even Tawana, Phil, like Jeannie, and like all the people that traveled. And we're gonna get to the sisterhood in a second, and the way that they showed up. But for all of you who put gas in the car or bought a plane ticket or booked a hotel room just to be here for this week, it means so much to me because it's people that live across the street, or around the corner that didn't bother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say the same thing. Like it's people, as she said, people that live around the street. And I mean, I'm real about it all the time. People that live here around the street, a part of both productions, who didn't even send so much as a congratulations, a thumbs up, a fuck you, nothing. And I can say this because this is my channel and I can do whatever I want. But so when people travel and move things around and have plans, but they move them and they want to be here to do stuff and they buy a ticket and they still work,
right,
like, it really does mean a lot.
right.
It really does mean a lot. So that's huge.
Truly. I mean, even some of the guests, some of the people that I've just met while I've been out in the industry, shout out to Sasha Renee, Kia, House of Sheba, like just people who have been like, you've shown up for me and I'm going to show up for you. I've got a lot going on, but I'm going to get on the road early Sunday morning. Just give me a room to change my clothes and bought a ticket and came. I see you. Um, I see you, and I don't ever take support for granted. Um and these girls don't take support for granted either, because this is hard. Production wise, competition wise, like all of this was very, very hard, and seeing the support and the love in that room, it means so much to all of us. So I thank you truly.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what, Cayenne, to be so young, she is so
She's so wise.
she is. And that was right. Like she said, the energy was perfect. So whoever attended was meant to be, for sure. So whoever attended, the vibes were good, you know. So
Like our baby says, the vibes were good. The vibes were immaculate.
yeah. So I want to go back and want to thank, definitely want to thank Mark, your husband,
Yeah.
as well as his friend who
Angela, yes.
Angelo, yeah, who put up the lights. Like that man walked back and forth to my truck probably 4 or 5 times, taking them lights back, bringing the lights over, and putting the lights up. He had no idea what he was doing. He was like, I don't know, like what to do. And he's like, but I'm gonna do it though. And he
Right.
did it. He
And
got those lights.
he had bought a ticket too. And
Yeah,
I told I said, yeah, tell him to come early. And he was like, what? What? And they just, I mean, it's at a certain point they stop questioning me and they just do. And I am thankful that they just did. And I mean, that's what I'm used to. So I expected no different, but I was grateful all the same, because uh production is chaotic as it is, and setup pre-production is chaotic as it is. But if you guys really knew what we were up against, which was the massive time crunch, we had 90 minutes to set that room up.
we did. 90 minutes to set that room up. And also shout out to the Drape people that came.
Yes, shout out to our sponsors, Joy Land Events.
Yeah,
Please go on our page and see them, follow them. They are an amazing event decor company, as well as own several venues. I just hosted a show at their venue and it was incredible. Please go to them for all your needs. And actually, they sponsored our drape because of a show that I recently hosted, and they loved what I did so much. They said, anything you need, we have you. And we just got to talking, and I said, well, I have to create a channel for my ladies to walk through so that the audience doesn't see them before they go up on stage. And they said, oh yeah, we can do that for you. And I said, well, great. What's the price? And they said, no, you don't understand. I got you. And I mean, I bawled tears at that point, because for anybody who does productions, pipe and drape is no joke.
it's no joke at all. And I gotta say, they came through that because, and we transparent here, right? So when Gabby and I first went to the venue and had things picked out, we had things picked out in a certain room, and we had a whole layout. Like when I go to walk a venue, I'm taking pictures, I'm taking video, I'm taking everything, so that I know when it's time to do production, I know where things are and what they're supposed to be. So when we went back for the next walkthrough, which was not too much before the show, they had switched the room on us.
Yep.
And so that changed everything,
Yep.
right? So that changed everything. And I'm like, okay, we got to figure this out, right? And so Gabby is literally sitting there about to explode, like, from the change. And I was like, all right, bet. We just got to set up a perimeter for the girls. We need drape so we can do this, like that. And the vision was executed exactly the way we talked about,
Yes.
exactly the way we talked about. And I'm so thankful to them for what they were able to do. Um, and just being able to walk into, not just walk into the room, but to walk into them, right? So
Yeah.
along this whole journey, like, we have encountered so many people who we didn't know that we were gonna need,
Right.
going along.
Right.
And these people just gave of themselves, like, just because they wanted to, or again, Cayenne, because the vibes were good. Um,
Right.
that's going on the hoodie. Um,
Yes.
but it's just, when you're doing something the right way, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff just it happens,
that's right.
you know. And those people, they'll be blessed again, like, time and time again, for what they have done for
Yeah.
us and what I'm sure they do for other people,
Yep.
so
Absolutely.
definitely
When you
shout out to them.
sow into other people's vision, you get blessed tenfold. And I pray nothing but blessings over their lives, their business, their health, their finances, their children, their amazing children doing incredible things. Makai and his partner Jasmine, my baby, they just burned down New York Fashion Week. I pray nothing but success for them, and whatever y'all need, we got you. Because y'all came through for us in a time, and we did not know, like you said, we didn't know until close to the day. And I was freaking out because, I'll tell this part. Now y'all get to, yeah, now all of my delegates that are on here can understand some of the things that I was going through on the back end, and why I couldn't play with you guys sometimes, because it was just a lot going on with production. But I the room, the dressing room where the ladies got changed in was upstairs from the ballroom, but it was on the other side of the venue. And when we initially picked out our ballroom, we were supposed to be on the other side, right above it, so that they wouldn't have as far to walk. So when they changed the ballroom on us, I said, that is a very far walk for our girls to go back and forth 4 or 5 times, depending on how many categories they had. So not only is it a very far walk for them to go in heels, changing outfits, it is also going to add a significant amount of lag time in our production, because they have to go back and forth to this room to change. So the drape was just one piece of it. The other piece of it was making sure we had the host that could move things along when we needed to, create that buffer when we needed to, making sure that we had capable backstage hands to move the girls along efficiently. So one little change meant that we had to rethink everything and make sure that we were even more intentional about the way that we use time and space. And everybody came together and executed very, very well. And I'm so, so proud.
You do need somebody to trademark it for you. We got you though. But yeah, that change, again, in production, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It really does make a big difference. So I want to say too, shout out to Rodney from the venue. He'll probably never see this, but Rodney was, for those of y'all that were there looking, Rodney was the black guy, with like the grayish hair. He was the event manager, and he ran the hell out of that production
Yeah.
from his standpoint, and he did everything in his power to make sure that we had as good of time as we possibly could.
Yep.
You know, um, yeah, he just it was great. So I did want to shout him out.
Yes,
Um,
and shout out to the banquet staff at Martin's West, serving our guests efficiently and with a smile. They really took care of us. The bartenders, the cashiers, all of the people that worked the event, the hands on the ground. We thank you so much for serving us food.
Black excellence, because that
Very much black
the
excellence.
staff was primarily black, and we're rooting for all things black, right? So I mean, but they did it.
Yes.
They did it, and they had it with a smile, even though we kept them there later than what they were supposed to be there.
Right.
They they did their thing. So outside of
Alexis was talking about this bread, and nobody got me a piece of bread, and I
I
could have
didn't
really used a roll.
I didn't get no bread either. But Alexis, thank you for making my plate on Saturday. I appreciate it, because I would not have eaten. um, so thank you for that.
Right.
Um, so we did the production staff. I don't. Is there anybody that we missed?
I want to talk now. I want to go to the sisters.
Yeah, I would say before we get to the sisters, like before we get there, was there anybody that we missed on the production side of the house?
The sisterhood,
Well,
the
yes,
directors.
yeah, and Karen. I guess you'll talk about her when we get to
Yeah,
the
absolutely. I mean, I'll start with
house.
Miss Karen. Miss Karen has been in this business for 30 years, and she is from Newark, New Jersey. She is just no nonsense, and I knew that she was going to keep going to keep us on task, especially with the changes that we had to make production wise. The moving the girls back and forth, the keeping things on time. And I said to her, I said, these are my girls, let's take care of them, but I do need you to move it along. And it was a little different than what they were used to because, I'm very nice. I'm very nice. And Miss Karen came in there and was like, y'all, come on, come on. But I warned them. I said, listen,
Say that again. You're very
nice. I'm very nice.
okay. I just want to make sure I heard you. I just want to make sure I heard you.
Where my girls? Can y'all put in the chat? Gabby is very nice.
I just you guys are done. You don't have to do that now.
You
You're
do.
done.
'Cause you're stuck. But
It's only
Gabby,
only three of y'all that have to. The other seven, y'all don't have to.
no, you do. Everybody, Gabby is very nice. I don't see it rolling in the chat right now. Yeah, she. Okay, see, Shante gets the prize because she said it first. She said it first. Gabby is nice. Thank you. Gabby is nice. See, to Gabby is very, very, very nice. She said it 3 times exactly. So I'm very nice. I'm very soft spoken. I am very sweet. And I said, listen, I sent a message through one of the girls and I said, look, y'all are gonna have somebody in here who does not talk to you the way that I talk to you. I need you to not take offense. I need you to lock in and remember your why. And I need you to just execute. And I think that for the most part, they all did. And I had to send that warning because starting Friday during competition weekend, I cannot talk to the girls. I cannot engage with my girls the way that I do because I don't want any appearances of bias or favoritism or anything like that. I have maintained that I have nothing to do with the judging, and that is very true. I found out when they found out. So during pageant weekend, it was very like hands off. But I was like, I gotta warn them. I gotta send a message like this is not Gabby, Ebony, Sharmika, and Mickey. Like this is real deal. And you got to deal with it. And that's just how life is. We have nurtured them, we have taught them, we've watched the ways that they've grown, and then we kind of sent them out into the real world. And it's like, okay. And I saw some of their faces like around the hotel, and they were looking at me like, save me, you're not gonna talk to me, like come. And I was like, hi, like I felt really bad, but they still rose to the occasion. They still executed and they made me so, so proud. And I wanted to say that y'all went through your process and you crossed over. We're on the other side. So please come talk to me, come bother me. Because I mean you can't leave. So you might as well come and talk to me.
Yeah, that's exactly. We were like fly little birdies. Y'all had to y'all had to go.
You had to go. And I don't think that I had express that to you guys that that's how that was going to happen. So my bad, because I feel like I just threw you out in the cold with no warning. Like I didn't give you no jacket, no book bag or nothing, but we're back.
Yeah, like it was one of the scenes. Camille had come off stage, and she was like the first one I ran into. But I saw her on stage, and I wanted to hug her and say, like, good job. And then I was like, ooh, I said, I don't think that's appropriate. I probably shouldn't do that. So
Yeah.
I like just patted her like on the shoulder or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna talk to you later, like, but because I mean we've been here with them, so it's hard. Like it was hard to see them and not like
And go,
congratulate and
yeah.
hug and give them encouragement. Now me and Gabby was both in the audience going off as y'all was walking.
Yes.
we,
Yes,
we
we
was
were.
you know we was standing there together like going off. But
Screaming. And then evening gown, I cried like a baby. Shout out to my makeup artist Terry Blue. Like I signaled for her from the other side of the room. I was like, girl, please come fit. I cried like a baby when y'all came out in those evening gowns.
yeah, so I was good. My makeup didn't run or nothing like that, so I was good. um
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and talk about the sisterhood, because I got some stuff to say about them too, because that was amazing.
Yeah, so first of all, shout out to the directors, my new sisters in the Miss Full Figured USA brand. All of them are amazing and incredible, and they run their divisions very, very well. And as I have now completed this first production, I have even more respect for the job that you all do. Because for as much fun as I have had, this is not easy. And there's two parts of it, right? And that's why there's always two teams. There's the pageant part, there's the teaching, there's the program, and then there's the production part. And you have to do both in order for it to work. I can't just do production and not do the pageant piece, because if we have a pretty production and the delegates, which is the actual product, are not prepared, then what are we doing? And on the flip side, I cannot just prepare these ladies and then give them shitty production because they don't deserve that. That's not what they paid their money for. So finding the balance was truly, truly hard. And then to be surrounded by these directors who do this, and some of them have done it for years. Princess D has been doing New Jersey for 7, 8 years. Suella with New York for a number of years. Devin, who is the Miss Full Figured USA Caribbean director, on her fourth year coming up, and Devin and also Tamika Wilson, who's the supermodel director. They had just come off of their production the week before ours. So they had just had their pageant 7 days before us in Newark, New Jersey. And Devin was like, I have something to do Saturday, but I'll come down early Sunday. Then she turned around and said, forget it. I canceled it. I will be there the whole weekend. Princess D started a new job, but still decided to come down for the entire weekend. Suella's pageant, Miss Full Figure USA New York, is this coming weekend. And she came down. And those four ladies came down, not just came down for Sunday, came down for Saturday, the Purple and White Affair, which we haven't really touched on much, but they came down for the entire weekend, bought tickets to everything, but also said, please use me wherever you need me, because we know what this is like. And I tried to cover all of my bases with production, but I still felt like I had some gaps. And no matter how pretty your ballroom is, no matter how many pictures you put up, if certain logistics don't go right, you're going to have a bad experience. And I said, can you do the check in? Can you greet the guests as they come in? Can you set up our crowning table? That is something that they do every year for their own productions. Can you set up our awards table? They said, I got you. They came early, put their sneakers on, they jumped in wherever they were needed. And that means so, so much to me to travel, to be here for me, for us. I will never forget it.
Not
I'll never,
only did they jump in to do it, as you said, they do this, right? They've been doing this for a number of years, but not one of them came in with this attitude of like, I know better than you, get out of
yep,
my way. They
yep,
all came in and said, what do you need?
yep,
And then they did what we needed based on what we said. And then they came and they asked questions. Nobody tried to just,
take over.
come in loud, obnoxious, take over, or anything like that. They did what they know they needed to do. And then we gave them the direction that we needed. And then they took it from there.
Yes,
They took it from there. So, like, they could have very easily been like, had the attitude of, I've been doing this longer than y'all have,
yep,
you know, and they didn't, and I'm not like a queen, I'm not in the system, and they still respected me, like, of like, what do you need, like, knowing that I was pretty much Gabby, like, on the floor,
yep,
I mean, in that type of humility and just being willing to like serve other people who are not your direct people, you know what I mean, like that's really big. Producers can have big heads
yep,
and be divas just like photographers and makeup artists and hairstylists and whatnot. But none of those ladies were like that.
yep.
None of them were like that. And we could not have done it the way we did it without their help.
No, no, we could not have. And our girl are saying they gave them confidence speeches. Yes, they poured into our girls. They spoke life into them. They encouraged them. And that's what the Miss Full Figured USA system is all about. It is the United Sisters of America. And I will say that NCR is proud to be not just of this area, but of the sisterhood. And we will be a full participating division in the entire brand. I will be at Miss Full Figure USA New York this weekend, supporting the same way that Suella came down and supported me. We have some other pageants going on. I will make sure that we have representation there. And then we are getting ready for nationals in 2026, where we will all be together. And I cannot wait to participate in that for the first time as part of the National Capital Region. So
It
thank you
would
so much.
and it would be really nice to have all 10 of our girls at nationals too. But
Yes,
you
it
know, we'll
would.
we'll guilt trip all of y'all into that, in future conversations. But just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah,
It'd be really nice to have all 10 of you there
yep,
helping your sisters get through.
yeah, because they're gonna need you.
Yeah. So,
They're
I'm gonna need my super encouraging members, Crystal, um, Shantae, all of you to start working on your sisters,
some
to come.
slight bullying.
Yeah,
I taught you how to do that.
because one thing, that I would tell my boys when I was hypothetically pledging my members of Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, um, it ain't never over, right? Like, the real work starts when you get offline, hypothetically speaking, because Alpha is a non-pledging, non-hazing organization. But the real work starts when you get offline, and all of you are done. There was only 3 crowns that we could do, but all of you have crowns, especially with this process.
Yep,
And so, as I told y'all on, I think the last workshop that we had, you know, this is not the journey. Really, it's for you, but it's not for you. It's for the people that come after you.
that's right.
And so, staying engaged, coming through, helping, because you all went through this process together. And
Yes,
so, it would be really nice to have all of you there so we can continue this process because we're not done yet.
We're just
You
getting
know,
started.
we got more crowns to bring home.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have more work to do here, and the way that I poured out this season was to plant the seeds in you all to become leaders in this organization. I cannot do this alone. And I poured out so much in my spirit on you so that you all could raise up and help get the next group of ladies in here and to teach them, this is what we do. This is not what we do. This is what NCR is about. This is the way. This is not the way. And I was very, very serious about that. As I said to you all yesterday, competition is hard and it's emotional because this is an emotional process. Some of you have done pageants before and some of you haven't. And you walk away with different feelings depending on how much you put into it. But because we ask you to submit so much emotionally to the process, you feel things that you don't normally feel when you go through other systems or when you go through fashion shows. And there is space for all of that. But as you feel those feelings, know that everything that we have done here is real. Every bond that we have created is real. And I would very much like for it to continue.
Yeah, man. We have 58 minutes, so we could clearly thank more and more people as we keep going. Who else we got? Who else we got?
Oh my gosh. Let's see who else. I mean, I'll get to the final three or four at the end, unless we're at the end. But I thanked my production staff. Um, I guess it's time to thank my pageant staff.
Oh, you know what? Yes, she said stand-in choreographer. So we absolutely have to shout out Cayenne again
Yes.
for choreographing the opening number.
Yep.
Like, I mean, nobody would believe the amount of time, short notice that went into that. I just got to say.
Yeah. We talk about it a lot, but it really was short notice, and she put a link to a video of her doing the dance in the chat, and by that was like Wednesday, and by Sunday they were in rehearsal, and I was in the area, and I pulled up on the rehearsal, and I was like, "Y'all got it together like this that quickly?" And they're like, "Yeah," and they continue to make it better and refine it, but they had that thing, and that was a testament to how good she is at 21 at giving direction. And I threw her into the fire as well, because when she walked into the rehearsal on my birthday, I said, "Listen, I'm about to stress you out."
Yeah.
I said, "I'm about to stress you out." And she was like, "What?" And then I told her, and she was like, "What?" But then she got excited because that's how creatives are. Like, they love a challenge. And and I saw her wheels turning and turning, and she got it. And yeah, we're gonna talk to National and see if they want to do a little opening number for Nationals, and see if you want to be the choreographer, because we've never done that, at least not during the years that I've been in the system. Nationals has not done a choreographed opening number, but when the talent is in the house, why not use it?
Yeah. All of y'all have so many talents. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Y'all are so good.
truly, truly good. All of you have amazing talents. Again, I can't say enough. You see this hoodie that Mickey has on, that crest, that is now our official crest for the NCR. That was designed by Shantae Waddy. That was designed by one of our delegates. And she's going to be a part of history. And we are, um, I have to thank my mom. That is my mom, Michelle Baltimore. Every time they see me, they ask for cake. And I'm like, why do you need cake right now? You don't you don't need cake at walking workshop. Like
We do though. We
you don't
do.
need the cake. Like I need y'all to focus.
We do.
It doesn't matter where they are, but they always want this cake that they remember from every time. And I'm like, look, we just y'all gotta focus, right? But just from the very beginning, just always been there from the launch party, the session ceremony, just always being there, being supportive, and then seeing the way that I was starting to get frustrated with some of the things going on in production and stepping in and going very lawyer on them, that it is always appreciated to have someone who is willing to scream when you can't. And so I thank you so much for that. Y'all do not need cake at all times.
Yes, we do. It helps us focus.
I do need cake. I earned cake. I would like some cake, please. But yes, so thank you to that. And I saw somebody else said thank you to Queen Alexis because and yes, I will thank her because from the very beginning, and I told her that because she actually stopped past my room after the pageant, and shout out to her amazing mother. Um they didn't really know me or know us. I met Alexis at Nationals in 2024. She's Miss Full Figured Virginia 2024 and Miss Full Figured USA first runner up 2024. And there were so many people at nationals this past year, and it was very hard for someone in particular to catch my eye that didn't have a blue sash because it is plus for me. And I saw Alexis and she caught my eye, and I was so blown away by her, and I made sure that I made her know. And from that moment, like we've just been locked in. She came to the launch party, she came to the sashing ceremony. She was just at everything that we had, and her and her mother were so supportive and said, "What do you need? Whatever you need, I got you." Alexis came and helped out with our delegates, and so I do have to thank you so much. And you're gonna have a job to do next season too. So I don't you're not going nowhere either. Everybody just needs to lock in.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, y'all can't go anywhere. So if I can't go, y'all can't go.
Well, that was a given, so I don't even know why you even said that. Like
You miss every shot
that
you
was that
take.
was that was a waste of words. Like don't irritate me tonight. But okay.
Oh, but Gabby's very nice, right? That's what y'all.
Gabby is very nice.
Okay.
Gabby is very, very nice. Y'all say it again. Tia didn't say it the last time. Say Gabby is very nice.
See, see. Again, y'all don't have to. You don't have to. Did you show your cup?
I didn't show my cup. So shout out to Robin who made the can y'all see it?
It's a
I
little
don't
shot.
know if you can see it. It's a little shiny. Okay, let me turn it around. So she made me a special tumbler for the weekend with our logo and my name, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Robin. Like for people who just show up and always make sure you're good. And it got to a point, and it's so funny, Mickey, that you talk about like how you apologize in advance. Um, when I work on District of Curves, like it's the other way around that it is here. And so I absorb a lot of the things so that it doesn't have to go to Mickey. And so I don't get to be the one to yell because he's yelling. So this time I was the one yelling. And Robin, she wasn't used to that because I'm usually the one that she can go to when Mickey is yelling. And I can be like, it's okay. I know he didn't mean it, right? But now I'm the one yelling and she's kind of taken off guard. And I'm like, and I didn't apologize in advance, but I immediately apologized afterwards. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Because she always was like checking on me. And I was like, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I wasn't fine. Spoiler alert, I was not fine. But I didn't know what else to say or how to communicate it. But she didn't take it personally. Like she knows how this has gone with us for now the past 3 years, and still in the midst of all of the heightened emotions of production was still making sure I was good, making sure I had everything that I needed. And also made sure that I was hydrated. So, Robin, thank you so much. I love you, and you will always have a space here with us.
Yeah, production is something, y'all. It's something for real. But I would do it all over again with y'all. Like I would do it all over again with all 10 of you. And yeah, I mean, I want to say I wouldn't change some stuff, but I'm lying. I would, especially on the day of, I would give us more than 90 minutes to set it
Absolutely.
up. But doing it in 90 minutes showed like, okay, you know what? We did it.
You got to get it
So,
done.
we could get it done. But I just want to thank all of the delegates, right,
Yes.
for even trusting us with this process, knowing that this was a new pageant. Um, Many of you weren't even familiar with the system at all, and you trusted us with your time. You trusted us with your money. You
Yes.
trusted us with your emotions. You
Yes.
know, um, that's not easy to do. It's not easy to get people to take that amount of trust, and everything like that. So I just want to thank the delegates because, the same way we supported you, you supported us.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you all stepped in and did things that you wouldn't think that as a delegate you would do. You
I'm
know,
sorry. I'm crying. We're
you,
cheetah sisters, including Mickey. You a cheetah sister with us, okay?
you think that's funny?
That's what the baby said. She said you cheetah sister with us. That's right.
She's fine. She gets a pass for it, but you can't laugh.
I'm sorry, Kaya. That was funny.
It was. I'm there with y'all. I'm there with y'all.
But truly the way that you all were, we have to thank you. Cayenne, your mother came up to me when it was over and she was like, this is amazing, and thank you so much for the way that you just embraced my baby girl, and seeing the way that she has grown and blossomed in this process. Like, she was just so proud and so happy with the way that things turned out. And that was what I wanted at the end of the day. We had, and like you said, we'll be transparent. We had so many breakdowns production wise on the back end. But my ultimate goal was to make sure that none of that made it to your guests that had invested their money and their time to come and see you. And so to get such great feedback from your families and friends about the way things went, that made me very happy. So I hope that they are as proud of you and as proud of us in this process that we are, and they are stuck with us too. I think I just told somebody that we're gonna get NCR pageant mom shirts because for some reason all of y'all look like your mothers now. I was going through those sashing ceremony pictures.
Including the director. But go ahead.
You all, I was like, all of y'all look like your mothers. And so we're now gonna get pageant mom shirts, and yes, I will get one for my mother too.
Speaking of mothers, I'm gonna shout out my mother. My mommy
Yes.
was there. My mom, my sister, and my brother-in-law, they came, and they loved y'all.
Hmm.
They loved y'all. They were very, very, very excited, and they loved it. So just want to shout out my mom too, because my mom makes a way for whatever I do. She makes a way to get up here. I'm from the 757 area, so Baltimore is a good 4 hours away, and my mom took a train to my sister's house in Glen Burnie and then rode with my sister to come. So mothers are very important,
Yes,
so shout out to moms.
absolutely. Um, None of us would be here without you, and we certainly could not do this without support. When we did the sashing ceremony, so many of you all had your mother sash you, and it was just such a special moment. So we are all a pageant family now, and I hope to get to spend more time with them. Like maybe we'll have a holiday party, or we'll do something to keep building our community up, because I truly love and appreciate all of you and your villages. Thank you to your villages for making this great. Thank you to your village for buying tickets to this pageant. I didn't know. I took a big swing with doing this the way that I did it. And all of y'all and your people got on board, and I had to keep saying trust it, like I'm going to take care of you. And they bought their tickets. Some of y'all bought your tickets back in June, and you were ready to go, and I appreciate that. Um so y'all have to stick around and see how we grow from here.
Shout out to the desserts though. Like, I mean, okay, the
That I
food.
got none of.
Listen, the food was good, but like, did y'all see those desserts? And yes, thank you, Shaughnessy. We're gonna talk about you in a second too.
Yes, because we
But
already, yes, but
did
we
y'all
don't.
see them desserts like at
Yeah,
the party and then at the pageant too? But like whole cakes, whole pie. Like I thought they were gonna bring out slices at the
yeah,
party. Like no, they brought out whole cakes. Like I mean, I got two pieces just
yeah.
because I wanted to taste it, and then I don't know who one of the delegates, or I don't know if it was Alexis. One of them was like, "Are you supposed to be eating that?" And I'm like, "I'm not, but I'm going to." Like, I got my shot. I'm good. Like, you know,
I picked up a piece of strawberry cake, set it down, and then never saw it again. So I'm extra hurt. I never even got to taste it, but it looked amazing. So shout out to the Martins West banquet staff, because the food was truly immaculate. Saturday's food was top notch. I kept making a plate and setting it down, and then finally my mom packed me up a to go plate. And then Sunday's food, the banquet staff packed up the team some to go plates, and so
I
I
had it for
definitely
lunch today, so I ain't even gonna lie. I had it for lunch today.
definitely ate that half sleep in the bed in the hotel room Sunday night, and yeah, that hit.
I'm gonna say this though: if we go back there, and they have a tasting, inaugural delegates, y'all finna come through for that tasting because apparently they had a whole spread laid out. I
It
didn't get
was
to go.
it was so much food. It was just me and Ebony with a whole buffet of food on the table, and I was just like, I don't know, like I don't know, but they let us take it home. So I came home. My husband was like, "What's for dinner?" I said that, like that. So yeah, we will definitely get some more people involved. So okay, okay, Cayenne.
She said, "Oh, yeah." All right, so if we're finished, if we pretty much done with the thank you, I'm gonna try to share this thing here.
One more thing. I
So
mean, I know that I've said it a million times. I said it both on stage, and I also said it specially in our program book, which we need to link to. We have a digital program this year. And first of all, first of all, I am not a creative, artistic person at all, but I need you to know that I locked in on Canva for 7 hours 2 days before the pageant, and I made that program book. I designed that program book. So I want you to go to missfulfiguredncr.com and go to pageant program book and look at it and tell me good job. I don't ever ask for kudos, right? I'm not that person, but I need you to please clap for this program book. And I did. I texted Shantae. I was like, "You want to see something?" And she was like, "You did this?" Like she was really shocked because she know that I locked in and I made that book. But you will go in there and you will see a special dedication to my pageant team. And I have to say this before we close out. Um, to Ebony and to Sharmika, we started this journey back in 2020, and to see the ways that we have grown, not just in pageantry, but in real life, to be here right now, still. doing this, still being sisters, and then still working together in the Missile Figured USA organization and bringing in this new division. Um, it means a lot to me. Ebony, the way that you worked this weekend and showed up for me, I still don't fully have the words. And I know that you stretched and pushed yourself beyond your comfort zone and the things that you thought were possible. And you discovered some things about yourself that you didn't know that you were capable of. I mean, I knew you were capable of them, but you know, you still playing small, but we're not going to do that, right? But thank you so much for the ways that you have shown up for me, that you've shown up for these ladies. Um, the way that you are my bullhorn sometimes when you think I'm not loud enough. Thank you for the ways that you defend me, you protect me, and you look out for me. I love you so much, Sharmika. Thank you just for all the ways that when you are going through your own things, you still check on me and say, I can't emotionally be there, but what do you need? And you send food or you send care packages or you show up silently and be that emotional rock. And thank you so much for that. To the two of you, these ladies, they have learned a lot about how to be queens, whether they walked away with big crowns or not. They learned how to be queens because of the queens that you are. And I would not do this without the two of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And to you, Mickey, um, I don't I don't know why we did this. I don't know what inspired us to do this, but it had to be divine. Because we could have just not
We could
and
have.
and been fine. But I think that we are both better people for having gone through this. And I am better, and we are better for you being here. Regardless of if I could have done it on my own, I really didn't want to. And I want to thank you for choosing this, choosing me, choosing us, because you make us better. Whatever idea that I ever have, you take it to the next level. And I appreciate that so much. I appreciate the way that you dream. You dream big and you make us dream big because nothing is impossible in your mind. And we all need somebody like that in our corner. And we are so fortunate to have you here with us. And I thank you.
Well, thank you. And you're welcome. All of y'all. We're crazy. We're crazy. But no, it was an honor and it was a pleasure to do it. Um, it was just great. So I really appreciate you for having me and all of these discussions that we've had and like the crazy ideas and dreams that we have had together over the last few years. And then just bringing them to life, like I'm like, yeah, I want to do XYZ. And you're like, okay, so why don't you? And I'm like, um, I guess I don't know. So when you said this, I was
You
like,
said you wanted to do it.
yeah,
Like,
I was like, well, I well, why don't you do it then?
yeah. I mean, that's very Virgo of me. I'm like, okay, like he will say, okay, I want to do this, and then the next thing I'll send him a link. I'll get, well, here's how you can do it. So what are we gonna do?
Right, right. So but I mean, I just appreciate the opportunity, to be able to do it, to be able to be here. I appreciate Teresa for,
Yes,
accepting me into this whole world and not only accepting me, right? So Teresa has been doing this pageant for 36 years. So, you know, I'm a little slightly older than that, but I was still very much a baby when she started this. And not only did she accept me into it, this weekend she largely took a back seat to both me to she took a back seat to both of us, and in some moments this weekend she literally took a back seat to me and let me drive
Yeah.
in her program and didn't question it. And Teresa's an old school promoter, like, we both from them promotion streets, and not this new promotion street where, they do whatever online. We from the putting flyers on the car days. Like, we out with a street team putting flyers on car windows out to the club days. And so when you're like that from that era, you don't relinquish control of your shit to anybody. And she pretty much did, and I just appreciate her for respecting me and trusting me, the way you do. So, I definitely appreciate that.
I mean, and I will say about that, I'm new here, in all aspects. So many people were doing so many incredible things before I got into this space, both in pageantry and in the fashion industry, right? District of Curves, I've been here for a short time, but you've been here for 11 years in this space. I guess to tell my age, Miss Full Figure USA was founded 36 years ago, and I was not even thought of by then. So for two people who were doing so many incredible things before me, um, honestly, for both of you to trust me enough to do this and to take direction from me in different ways and to trust that I knew what I was doing, or at least pretended to know what I was doing enough, means a lot. And Teresa put an incredible level of trust in me in this first year in a way that she doesn't normally do. I had a vision about how I wanted this to go, and I knew that I needed a certain level of autonomy to pull it off. And she says, "Show me what you got." And when we got to the weekend and through the weekend, and I came to see her off yesterday morning, um, she said, "You pulled it off." And I cried so hard because I didn't know if I would, but I'm very, very grateful to both her and to you for not only pouring your wisdom into me, but then trusting me in this big moment. I can't thank you enough.
You deserved it. You deserved it. All the productions you've been a part of in this short time, you were more than capable of doing it. So, before I go to the next thing, I will say, and speaking of productions that Gabby's been a part of, Gabby is also a part of the Full Figure Industry Awards that
Yes.
are going down on November 1st that I'm nominated for, by the way, for photographer. But, she is a part of that production too. So she is continuing to be crazy and still do stuff. So, just shout out to you for just pushing through.
Absolutely. Full Figure Industry Awards, November 1st, 2025, at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center in Jamaica, Queens. Please get your tickets. Come support the amazing nominees and honorees, including our very own Mickey Leon up for Outstanding Photographer this year. So, girls, get your tickets. Come on here. Let's come support our guy for sure. I will be running backstage as usual, doing production because that's what I do. But I am proud to do it and happy to do it. It's a different, it's a different kind of joy when you get to run production for somebody else versus running your
Yeah.
own. So I'm actually quite looking forward to doing that because this was a pill right here, and that's gonna feel like a vacation. So come on up and vibe with us in New York on November 1st, and come see Mickey take home this award.
And y'all will get to see Tawana be stressed out and feel.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I'll be running the red carpet, but I mean that's cake for me. So all right.
We get
So
the easy jobs this time.
these last two things I want to do. So here, this is the website, right? And
Okay.
so I was working on this today. If y'all get a chance to go through, check out the website. the updates and stuff like that. But really, what I wanted to show was this, because Gabby is so proud, as she should be. So, if y'all have not looked at the program book, this is the program book that is on there. You can see it mobile or your desktop, and just take some time to go through, read her welcome that she gave. We won't go through all of that here, but do that. The message from Teresa, the CEO. Um, the run of show. You all should know the run of show. You ran the show. Um, y'all's beautiful pictures. And all of y'all are here. You know,
Y'all are cutting up in this chat, and I need y'all to stop.
they are. I'm gonna put those up in a minute. But, but go through. Check it out. Take a look, because I know you're in the production, so you don't get a chance to look at this stuff.
Yeah.
But really look at it, and not only did Gabby put time into it, but I mean, it's actually really good. It's really, really nice. It's really good. So take a chance, look at it.
And also, if anybody would like a commemorative printed copy of it, let me know because we're gonna look into. I'm definitely print. I worked so hard. I am going to print one for myself. So, but if you guys would like a printed copy, let me know. But go back to the website real quick because there's one more thing that I wanted to say about it. For anybody who is on here that is thinking about registering and being a part of history, um, registration for the 2026 season is officially open. And I had an offer, I had an exclusive offer for the weekend, but I will extend it to November 1st. If you register for the pageant and go through everything that you need to go through and sign up by November 1st, we will lock you into the 2025 pricing because the prices are going up. So if you are on the fence about this, if you're thinking about considering it, you want to go ahead and sign up now so that we can lock you into the 2025 pricing because we will absolutely be raising prices. And if you are not in here by November 1st, you will pay the current rates. But come in here, try something different, get off the bench and get in the game. And if you need any example of what that looks like, you can talk to any 10 of these ladies that did it with us in our inaugural season, who took a chance on us and said, I don't know what this is going to be, but I'm along for the ride. Now you see what it's going to be. So now you have an example because there were some of y'all who were like, I'm going to wait a year. I'm going to see what is given. Now you see what is given. So if you want to be a part of it, I am giving you one opportunity to Mickey, please. I'm I'm giving you one opportunity to lock in to our inaugural pricing. And after that, that is it because you see the product. And I am the type of person, not just in NCR or DOC, but the space of Gabby is one that gives more than she takes. So you will always get more than you give. So now you see what it's given. Come on in and be a part of history because we're building something special.
Yeah, for sure. So the last thing that I'm gonna try to do, and this is live, right? So I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we gonna see. We gonna see. So let's. Can y'all see it? Can y'all hear it? Corny with that Illuminati mess. Top the rocks and catch my fly. I'm so reckless when I rock my Givenchy dress. I'm so possessive, so I rock his rock necklaces. I'm dead now, I'm a Louisiana.
Y'all did that.
Yeah, y'all did that.
Y'all did that.
So
So proud.
yeah. So I mean, that was definitely the way to end it. So to end this one. So I just want to say to close out, I'm proud of y'all. Um, I'm proud of y'all, and thank you to everyone who made this possible. I hope that we did not forget anyone. I'm running through that day in my head and everything leading up to it. And if we did forget somebody, it is not intentional. I will say Buster from Boudoir by R&B. Um, Buster, every time I need Buster, every time
Yes.
I really thought y'all was gonna make me get up there and walk. By the way, I didn't say nothing at the pajama party when we was putting that new part in there. By the way, but yeah,
Don't worry. Next year you will walk.
but I do want to say like Buster. Every time I need Buster to do something, Boudoir by R&B, he jumps in there and he does it like without question. He walked in there without an hour and a half. He was double parked and was not planning on doing anything. And he looked at me and he was like, "You good? What you need?" I was like, "Can you go put that step and repeat up for the decorator so she can do them balloons?" And he didn't even blink. He didn't even blink. He just went over there and he jumped in there and he did it. Like wasn't even a part of the production team or anything. Like double parked in the front driveway, whatever, and jumped out there and did it. So I gotta say thank you to Buster. Like Buster has been riding with me forever. You know what I mean? And yeah, he just jumps in there. So I absolutely have to thank him because it is never I've never had to ask him for anything more than once. Um, and half of the stuff I don't even have to ask him for. He just jumps in there and does it. So, shout out to Buster Boudoir by R&B. If y'all have not checked out the After Dark show, y'all had to check it out. He has gone to several different cities now and done several different productions, and that show has grown and it's great. And everybody in the beginning who was laughing at him and saying that, you know, it was something that it wasn't and everything. And he has gone to prove everybody wrong on that front. And it is a great production. So the next one is November 15th. And y'all definitely support, your sisters. Tia will definitely be a part of it. Crystal has been a part of it. Myself and Gabby have been a part of it. It's a time for real. So shout out to Buster for that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think that's it.
I think that's it. Thank y'all for staying up with us for this hour and 41 minutes. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
we're late birds, but the next time that you will see us on here, we will be joined by our official royal court to formally introduce them to you all and talk a little bit about their reign and what they plan to do as they get ready to work in their platforms, be in the community, and get ready for nationals, which is April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd in Newark, New Jersey at the Robert Treat Hotel, Miss Full Figured USA. Tickets are on sale, tables are on sale. National Capital Region, I'm telling you now, we are going to pack the house. I need to know very early who is coming with us because tickets are limited, tables are limited, and we are coming in there to show them who we are. So the next time you will see us will be with our royal court, our inaugural royal court, and we will hear more from them.
Yeah. And does Caribbean have a live coming up?
Caribbean has a live tomorrow. Devin just completed her pageant again the week before ours. And so she is going live with her new queens tomorrow night. So make sure that you check that out on the Miss Full Figured USA Caribbean page. And those girls are also going to be joining us at Nationals for the very first time. So shout out to them. Shout out to the entire USA Sisterhood.
Yeah. And again, last thing, Miss Full Figure USA New York this coming weekend. Suella, shout out to Suella. Definitely go out and see her.
I
And
am going. I did not put this out there to all of my girls, but if there is anybody who wants to take a last minute trip up to New York to support, they came down there for us, so we have to go up there and support them. If y'all are not doing anything, like let's go up there and show our support for them. But I am definitely going. So hit me up in the chat or text me directly and let me know who's available to go and put on a pretty gown or and come and support them the way they supported us.
yeah, shout out to Suella. She got in my ass this morning. I was on the phone with her this morning, and I'm not gonna be able to go. And she got in my ass about that. But I did order her backdrop for her, so y'all will go see a nice, pretty backdrop there. And I'm there in spirit with that.
Yeah,
So um, I think that is it, Gabby. Again, thank you so much for your direction, for being such a great director, for being such a great leader. You are all of our director. And I think I speak for the group when I say we love you. And we look forward to what this process brings in the future. So,
thank you. Thank you. I couldn't do it without you. You are the best group of delegates and the best team that I could ever ask for. Um, this was hard, but you made it easy in many ways. It is easy to love you. It is easy to guide you. Um, a lot of the drama and stuff that I said that I didn't want, I didn't get. I said I wasn't going for it, and we didn't have it. Did we have our moments of doubt, our fears, and our tears? Yes, we did. But I said this, and it made me so happy to see that even the part of the sisterhood that couldn't join us physically, several of the directors were going live at the pageant and they heard me say something that I've said privately to our girls several times. I said, I don't force sisterhood upon anybody. I just create an environment where sisterhood can happen. And I was very intentional about the space that I wanted to create here. And you all took it and ran with it and created something that's so beautiful and amazing. And I can't wait to see all the ways that we grow together. Put it in the chat and let's talk about it tonight. So I know some of y'all are asleep, but let's talk about it this so we can get that together fairly quickly if we're gonna do that.
all right, y'all. Good night, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
Good night, guys.